the original unofficial fan podcast for Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles and the Lives of the Mayfair Witches. Welcome to the Coven, you butterscotch bitches.
You butterscotch bitches!
Hello there. I am Joel Sharpton, one half of the Articulate Coven, and welcome to our latest episode. If you are watching this on YouTube or you're listening to it in the podcast apps, then you are seeing us when we're sort of in a hiatus, technically, I suppose. Our regular Articulate Coven episodes are not being recorded new right now. Patrons are still getting new content every week with the Afterlife segments. And if you like the works of Mike Flan-Again, you can catch Ashley and I and the rest of our Coven members doing cool stuff every week with Flan-Again, our sister show where we're discussing the works of Mike Flan-Again. We wanted to put out new things for you here on Articulate Coven, though, as well. And we've got some formerly patron-only episodes that we can drop. We discussed Hulu's series Castle Rock, adapting many of the works of Stephen King. Ashley and I talked about all 20 episodes week by week, and we're going to start dropping those for you. I want to remind you, you can always get everything that we do early, ad-free, more often at articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to everything we do early and ad-free. I hope you enjoy this episode, and do check us out over at Flan-Again. We've already covered the episodes of Midnight Mass and Fall of the House of Usher. We're going to be talking about the Haunting of Hill House, the Haunting of Bly Manor, the Midnight Club eventually. Carrie is coming later this year from Amazon. We're going to be talking about that. And someday in the not too distant future, Mike Flan-Again and Amazon are going to be making a Dark Tower series adapting the opus magnus of Stephen King's work. We're going to talk about that when it's time for it too. Until then, enjoy this from the Articulate Coven. Welcome to the Articulate Coven Afterlife. We are your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. And we are going to Castle Rock, Ashley.
Yeah, we are. Castle Rock. Oh my God.
Man.
What a fucked
Okay,
up
first of
little town.
all, what a brilliant series this was to do. We talked about it way back in the day when we discussed this show in like one episode. But the very idea of piling up a bunch of the Stephen King rights at once and mining them not in one story, but in a connected, ongoing, let's tell a bunch of things actually, and let's hint at more. Such a good idea.
I really wish we had gotten more than 2 seasons of this, honestly.
Okay, that's where I want to hint at here for a second before we get into this episode specifically. Some news came out this last week.
Oh, yes.
Mike Flan-Again is making for Warner Brothers a The Mist film based on Stephen King's novel, The Mist. Okay, there is no way in the universe that Welcome to Derry Season 1 goes the way that it goes, and they don't connect those two stories in some fashion. I cannot imagine that there won't be some Easter eggs and connections. The Mist happens just outside of Derry. Okay. Saying that is the case, I was under the impression that the Mike Flan-Again deal with Amazon was exclusive. If he's now making, he wrote the Clayface movie already for Warner Brothers, but writing a script and it being like a first draft that somebody else works on and whatever.
I don't think it's an exclusivity thing. I think it's just he's contracted to do a certain amount for them.
Yeah, and okay, that makes me very excited, but it tells me that I think it is entirely possible that the Dark Tower series that he's working on at Amazon gets to make a deal with Warner Brothers. Listen, do you not think that the Welcome to Derry crew wouldn't want to hint at the beams? That they wouldn't want to maybe hint at worlds other than these? That they wouldn't want to, these things are all connected, and I think that it's entirely possible right now. I think that the creators are all friends, and the corporate entities are not at odds. And so I think anyway, I think we might be on the cusp of a real renaissance for all of these properties, which is really exciting.
The Stephen King, this Flan-Again Stephen King fucking relationship is it is a gift to Stephen King fans everywhere, because Flan-Again is like Darabont, and he really knows how to dig into the character of it all and really, really flesh out the important parts of the story. But
also
guys,
gets the horror in a way that Darabont doesn't, I think.
Well,
exactly, right?
Darabont was doing. I mean, Darabont did The Mist, so I don't know. Like that's still one of those horrifying things I've ever seen. But I think that Darabont was choosing different, or they were doing different things. He did Green Mile. That's more supernatural.
And Shawshank, he directed
Shawshank. Yeah, absolutely. So, I do love being back in Shawshank. That's one of the coolest. What a great set they have.
Yes, the set is so good. We start in 1991 with Sheriff Alan Pangborn, which again, Alan's in a bunch of Stephen King books. The thing that I know him most from is Needful Things, though. He's fantastic in the Needful Things story. And I could very much see, especially Scott Glenn, doing the Needful Things story, right? Like that feels like something that's been in his recent. He's so good. But we see him in 91. Henry Deaver has been lost. We hear on the radio. We hear this mysterious groan as Alan's eating his lunch out on the lake, and then suddenly Henry appears on the ice. He wasn't there a second ago, and now he is. Okay, great
He's
mystery
been gone
box
for 11
opening.
days.
Yeah, 11 days. That's what he tells him. He's like, there's no frostbite. Where have you been inside somewhere? It's a big mystery. Where has Henry been? I'd completely forgotten that Terry O'Quinn's in the show at all.
I know.
He's great. He's amazing.
I mean, Christ, what an exit.
Okay. We see him in this opening scene, and I'm writing down, Mr. Lacey is retiring. Oh, wow. And then it clicked. I'm like, oh, that's why I don't remember Terry O'Quinn in this show, because he retires.
Yeah, he retires hard.
So he worked at Shawshank, and that's our end to Shawshank there. You're right, the set is amazing, but I also love the way this whole thing is framed with the new warden coming in. All we ever hear from the new warden is like quarterly investor meetings, right? All she's worried about is what the board thinks.
Because they've got to get more. They've got to get more they got to get more prisoners in there, because the prison is.
They got to get more beds.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a wing
trying
of
to hit them bonuses.
Yeah, she's trying to. Yeah, she's treating this like the capitalist system that the prison system is in our country.
So there was a fire in 1997, 6 years after Henry Deavers comes back. So let's just put that in our bonnet. F Ward had been unused for 30 years, basically. Okay. It turns out it wasn't unused that whole time. It was just off the books. Who did they find? Oh, Billy Skarsgård down there in the hole.
Christ.
Ashley.
And I'd forgotten he was even
scary.
In this until somebody brought it up in the Facebook group, and I was like, oh, holy shit, I forgot. Yeah.
Right after they find him, they're having him, I don't know, seen to by a doctor, I guess, inspected.
Right.
And
because
the
he's in
two
a
guards
cage.
are talking to each other.
Like, it's not like a cell. He's like in a fucking cage.
In a cage that was built into like a water tank of some sort or something. Like this is
like a septic tank. Yeah.
Specifically to be separated out. I just watched the first two X-Men movies recently, and it vaguely reminded me of like, they put Magneto in this plastic prison that like is removed from everything else, right? Yeah, we've got to keep the guy isolated. Okay, the obvious parallel, and we're going to go ahead and draw it right here, even before Ashley and I remember all the details about where the series goes. There is a fantastic episode of the Twilight Zone where this guy lets someone out of a jail cell, and it turns out that this convent, this monastery, whatever it is, has had the devil locked in this cell for a few hundred years or something, right? That's what we're supposed to be wondering right here already. We're like, why would you lock that kid up? Why is that guy locked up?
What's he up to? What's he doing?
Nothing good. Nothing good.
Or is the person who locked him up the one doing nothing good?
maybe both even. But one of the guards says, if he wasn't a psychopath before, he sure as shit one now.
Right? You've been locked up in a cage in a septic tank? Like, that is not cool.
I love how Bill Skarsgård delivers his only line in this episode. Yeah. Henry Matthew Deaver.
Your whole fucking government name, sir. Your government name.
Which is... It's weird just when he delivers it, but it's beautiful. Again, as we talked about in our episode of Interview with the Vampire, mirroring and storytelling. We get the mirror at the end of this episode, right? Where Terry O'Quinn tells him, when they find you, ask for Henry Deaver. Henry Matthew Deaver. 24 Hours from Tulsa by Gene Pitney. Ashley, I know you're a huge country fan, so you must have all the Gene Pitney albums, right?
The purest joy of my life.
I say country. I think Gene Pitney was old enough that it doesn't actually count as country. I think this is back when it was just top 40. Gene Pitney was an American pop and country singer, songwriter, musician. Pitney charted 16 top 40 hits in the U.S., 4 in the top 10. In the U.K., he had 22 top 40 hit singles, including 11 in the top 10. Yeah. So Gene Pitney is one of the ones actually that the Beatles mention regularly. They liked a lot of Gene Pitney songs. Love My Life Away. I Must Be Seeing Things. Something's Got a Hold of Me. Half Heaven, Half Heartache. Backstage, and 24 Hours to Tulsa. That was probably his biggest song, honestly, 24 Hours to Tulsa. Only Love Can Break a Heart. He's got a great version of that. Only love can break a heart. Okay. Wherever you go next, does the tape get erased? I love this scene with the woman on death row.
Oh, yes.
She's asking about, what do you think happens in the afterlife? It's funny because I was literally just watching, what was I watching? Oh, I was watching an episode of Dark Shadows where two of the characters are asking about reincarnation. And I got to thinking about what I think. I haven't traditionally believed in reincarnation, but I do, if you ask me today, I would say, I do think for some of us, probably we go round again. And I don't know why, or whether we get to choose that, or whether it's because of something we did or didn't do or whatever. I don't know. But I do get the sense that there are cycles to things. This lady doesn't want to cycle though, Ash.
No, she's all set.
She says, I hope the tape gets erased. I don't want this one to be remembered. It does make you wonder what the shit she's been through, honestly, because she's innocent. We imagine he's fighting for her life here.
Or he's just...
Maybe she's not innocent.
Doing his job. I was going to say, maybe she's not innocent.
That's true, too, I suppose. Anyway. Okay. We go from that scene where we watch her get killed and then not really and then killed again, which is terrible. That
was so fucked up. And, yeah, that was fucked up.
But we go right back to the prison where our warden and her lackey are discussing their options for Billy Boy. And the lackey says, we can find him a roomie, psycho who collects life sentences, circle of life. You're going to shove this unknown man with no prison record into a cell with someone they hope will kill him. That's their plan for this guy, Ashley.
Super, super chill. Yeah. He's got no fingerprints
the American
in the
incarceration system.
Yeah.
The American incarceration system is the real monster, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, that is the villain of the story.
Okay, so our guard with a heart of gold here, he's had a problem with this whole thing. He's the one that found him. He feels like tied up in all this to begin with. But when he overhears the fact that they're going to have the guy murdered, he's like, okay, I can't. And he also doesn't want to get in trouble in any way. He doesn't want to lose his job. He definitely doesn't want to go to prison or anything for this, if that's possibly the case. But he literally just like on a phone downstairs calls Matthew Deaver because it's the only thing he could think of to do.
And they're not going to. Because they're not going to call him.
No, they were never going to call that dude. They were literally just going to kill him in that jail. I say that. As it turns out, I don't think he would have been killed in that jail cell, but we'll get there later. Ashley, I kept forgetting all the casting in this show. Every time a new character would be introduced, I'd be like, oh shit, yeah. Melanie Linsky's in this thing.
Yes, I love her. Oh my God, I love Melanie
do too.
Linsky.
She's so wonderful.
I've been trying to figure out where I recognize that sweet little guard from, and he's in Final Destination 2. That has to be it.
Okay. He's not one of the Shameless kids, is he?
Yes, he is.
I thought he was on Okay, that's where I recognize him
and
from.
I haven't watched Shameless because I am worried it's gonna hit a little too close to home in some levels.
Yeah, Noel Fisher is who we're talking about. He plays Mickey Milkovich in Shameless. Or Mikey Milkovich, I think actually is his name. Anyway, I have only watched a handful of episodes of Shameless 2, and it is basically just for the same reason that we've talked about this before on the show, I believe. I do not need to watch people worry about family problems and paying the rent. I do that. Yeah. I don't need to worry about bills in my drama. Thank you.
I don't need to watch scenes of people, of children dumping out bottles of alcohol that they find hidden around their house.
That, yeah, I could feel that too. It is a real problem in that show.
And that being like kind of a funny thing, because it's funny, but it's not funny.
It's that show walks it's a great show, by the way. What I've seen of it is genuinely wonderful.
No, everything I've seen of it is incredible, and that is no criticism of it. I'm saying they nailed it, and that's the thing.
You gotta put on the full armor of the Lord, so to speak, to watch a show like that. You know,
I don't.
Prep.
I don't have my therapist on speed dial fast enough to open up some of those cans.
Okay, Henry Deaver's father was a preacher? ? Seems like.
Yes.
Also white, which I'd forgotten about the whole. I was like, oh yeah, it's a whole back broken, frozen to death. That's how they found Papa Deaver.
Crazy.
The town sort of thinks that Matthew killed him, effectively, or at least is responsible for his death. Yes.
Michael. Matthew.
Matthew Deaver, Matthew
sorry.
Deaver. Yeah, Henry Deaver. Sorry, they think that
the
middle
Henry
name
fucked us up. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I went to the middle name. Sissy Spacek! Exclamation point! God, she's so wonderful. Okay, so obviously she's got the Stephen King connection with Carrie,
right?
But she's also just awesome. Period.
Yeah,
and she's great. I love when you use older actors appropriately, right? This is a story where her age matters. And so we're not turning her into a crone. We're not turning her into something lesser than, and yet, I don't know. I was having a conversation with one of our college professors one time, and I was complaining about the roles that I've aged out of, and he was reminding me of all the roles I haven't aged into yet.
Yeah.
This is that I think about this for sissies. We talk about all the time how women, especially in Hollywood, are like just they play the grandmother and that's all they ever get to play after they're not beautiful. Sissy Spacek is not playing the grandmother and she's not playing the witch here. Now, her age is important, but I think it is exactly what you want from an actress of that age, and she meets it completely in this role. We don't see a lot of it in this episode, but like she's great, and I'm so excited about where we go with her.
Yeah, this cast is fantastic.
We already mentioned him, but Scott Glenn, first of all, boy, if you were going to have a boyfriend in your old age, in your old demented age, Scott,
you could do a lot worse than Scott Glenn.
When he comes down the stairs and he's like pulling on his shirt after he clearly just like got out of bed or the shower or whatever, I was like, Scott Glenn, hello,
Zaddy,
all right,
how you doing?
Yeah,
how you been?
Where's that cane you got in Daredevil? Swing the stick for me, buddy. I'm
always like, oh, FBI Director Crawford, how you doing?
Yeah, that too. Oh man. Okay, Bill Skarsgård seems to quite enjoy watching that mouse get killed by the trap, don't he, Ashley?
What? You really don't have to work hard to make Bill Skarsgård creepy. And they've done it so much that I will assume he's going to be a creep in almost every movie he's in. And I have not given him the benefit of the doubt a couple of times where I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry, Skarsgård.
Who's the actor, that plays Red in that 70s show? You know who I'm talking about? That plays the dad?
Yeah, the dad. Yeah.
Okay. Before that 70s show, he was always like the dirty cop or the like low level drug enforcer or whatever that came to rough somebody up. Or he's the bad guy in one of the RoboCop. I think the first RoboCop movie. He's the bad guy in the first one. Yeah, that's what I always envisioned when I saw him until after that 70s show anyway. And even then it's like, now you're just a curmudgeonly father. Ed O'Neill. Ed O'Neill will always be a slightly slimy, horny dad, in my opinion, because I watched too many episodes of Married with Children. Yeah. Bill Skarsgård will always be a probably interdimensional evil of some sort when I look at him.
Very suspicious. I'm very suspicious.
Man, and the warden just straight up lying. No unknown prisoners here. Nothing to see here. The lawyer came and she's still going to kill him in the cell. She's just going to shove him in a cell and let him die.
Yep. Get rid of the problem. And then open that wing up.
Let's see how that goes, warden. Let's see how that goes, warden. I don't think it's going to go how you think it's going to go.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Not well.
So excited to get back into this one. I don't know exactly how many episodes of this we have, honestly. I didn't look ahead because I didn't want to see any descriptions, but we've got 2 seasons to go through, and you and I, neither one have seen season 2, right? Almost at all.
I haven't watched all of it. I've watched like, I think about maybe like 4 episodes of it.
I don't know that I ever even saw episode 1 of season 2 before, so I'm super excited to go through this with you all.
I'm
not sure how
10 episodes in season 1.
Which probably means close to 10 in season 2, at least 8, which means that...
Yeah, it looks like 10 in season 2.
We will not finish Castle Rock before we finish season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. So the afterlives for Castle Rock will go on beyond. That's what you can look forward to. But next week, we will be back with episode 2 of Castle Rock on Hulu.
We shall.
I'm watching these on Disney Plus, but you got to have
I'm watching them on Netflix right now. It's
Disney
on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix? Are both seasons on Netflix?
Yeah. Okay,
so. That is good to know, y'all. There you go. You don't have to have the Disney evils just for Castle Rock.
Yeah. Netflix is ad-free, too, in case you don't have the ad-free version of Disney.
That is an excellent point. All right. We will be back next week with episode 2. Until then, we have been your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. Hey, thanks for enjoying these Afterlife segments. These were formerly patron-only recordings, and you can get stuff like this and everything that we do early, ad-free, more often at articulatecoven.com/join for just $2 or more a month. Thank you for sharing this time with the Articulate Coven. Support the show as either a free or paid member at articulatecoven.com/join. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Find more from the Coven with our sister show, Flan-Again, covering the works of Mike Flan-Again.